All right, let's hit the road and take a trip straight to the heart of Flavor Town, because today we're talking about a culinary icon, a global superstar, a titan of taste. I'm talking about those golden, crispy, perfectly salted spears of potato goodness from McDonald's. You know the ones. You can smell them from a block away, that unmistakable aroma that just screams road trip and good times. These fries are more than just a side dish. They're a food phenomenon, a universal language of deliciousness. They're the co-pilot to your Big Mac, the crunchy companion to your milkshake, the one thing everyone in the car can agree on. It's a taste that's recognized from Tokyo to Toledo, and that, my friends, is some serious culinary power. But hold on, we're not just pulling up to the drive-thru today. We're going behind the curtain, peeling back the layers to uncover the righteous secrets of how these legendary fries are made. We're also going to dive into their sweet-tooth sidekick, the warm, chewy McDonald's cookie. How do they get that perfect texture every single time? It's a massive operation, a symphony of science, precision, and a little bit of that fast food magic that keeps us all coming back. This isn't just about grabbing a quick bite. It's about understanding the journey of your food, from the farm to the fryer, from the bakery to your bag. So buckle up, because this is one culinary deep dive you won't want to miss. Think about it for a minute. These aren't just any fries. They're the gold standard, the benchmark that all other fast food fries are judged against. They have a texture that's off the hook, a crispy golden shell that gives way to a fluffy, steamy interior that's pure potato bliss. And that flavour? It's a carefully crafted experience, one that has evolved over decades to become the signature taste we know and love today. We're going to explore that whole story, from the old school methods to the modern day science that makes it all possible. It's a tale of innovation, controversy, and an unwavering commitment to consistency that is, frankly, mind-blowing. And when you've had your fill of salty satisfaction, what's next? You gotta have something sweet to seal the deal, and that's where the cookies come in. These aren't just an afterthought, they're a key player in the McDonald's dessert lineup. Whether you're a chocolate chip champion or an oatmeal aficionado, these warm, gooey discs of happiness are the perfect way to cap off a meal. We're going to get the inside scoop on how these treats are whipped up in massive bakeries, packaged with care, and delivered fresh for you to enjoy. So get ready, because we're about to take a full throttle tour of some of the most famous food on the planet. This is going to be money. The journey of a McDonald's fry starts long before it hits the hot oil. It begins in a field with a very specific kind of potato. We're not just talking about any old spud you'd find at the grocery store. McDonald's is super particular, and for their US fries, they often rely on legendary varieties like the Russet Burbank and the Shepherdie. These potatoes are the real deal. They're long, they're dense, and they have just the right balance of starch and sugar. That balance is the key to getting that signature fluffy inside and avoiding those dark, burnt spots when they're fried. These potatoes are the chosen ones, destined for golden greatness from the moment they're pulled from the earth. Once these primo potatoes arrive at the processing plant, it's go time. The first step is a serious bath. The spuds are tumbled and washed in giant machines to scrub off every last bit of dirt and field debris. After their spa treatment, they're sent to a high-tech peeling machine that uses steam to blast the skins right off. It's a fast and efficient process that ensures a clean, smooth potato is ready for the next stage. This isn't your grandma's kitchen peeler. This is a full-scale industrial operation designed to handle literally tons of potatoes every single hour. The precision is just off the charts, making sure nothing goes to waste. Now for the main event, the cut. This is where the potatoes transform into that iconic slender shape. They are loaded into a system that shoots them like cannons through a high-pressure water flume. We're talking speeds of 60 to 70 miles per hour. At the end of this water jet ride, they fly through a grid of razor-sharp blades, and bam! Instant French fries. This method is not just for show. It ensures every single fry is cut to a uniform size and shape. That uniformity is crucial for cooking them evenly later on, so every fry you get in that little red box has the same killer texture. After being cut, the potato sticks take a dip in hot water in a process called blanching. This isn't about cooking them through, it's a clever trick of food science. The hot water removes excess natural sugars from the surface of the potato. Why? Too much sugar would cause the fries to caramelize and brown too quickly on the outside before the inside is fully cooked. Blanching is the secret step that guarantees a beautiful, even golden brown colour every time. After their quick bath, they are thoroughly dried because water and hot oil are not friends. This whole process is a finely tuned machine, a culinary assembly line that turns a humble vegetable into a global icon. After the potatoes are cut, blanched and dried, they're not quite ready for their trip to the restaurant. There's one more crucial step at the factory, the par fry. This is the first time the fries hit the oil. They are briefly fried for just a minute or so in a massive, continuous fryer. This quick dip does a couple of righteous things. First, it cooks the outer layer of the fry, creating a protective seal that helps lock in moisture and texture. Second, this is where that signature natural beef flavor is added in the United States, giving the fries a hint of that old-school savory taste that people go crazy for. Once they've had their first taste of hot oil, the fries are immediately sent on a trip to the deep freeze. They travel along a conveyor belt through a flash-freezing tunnel, where they're frozen solid in a matter of moments. This rapid freezing process is key because it forms tiny ice crystals that don't damage the potato's cell structure. This preserves that fluffy, mashed potato-like interior that makes a McDonald's fry so unique. After they're frozen solid, they are packaged into big boxes, loaded onto refrigerated trucks, and shipped off to thousands of McDonald's distribution centers and restaurants all over the world. Now let's fast forward to your local McDonald's. When you place your order, that's when the final act begins. The crew grabs a basket of those frozen par-fried potato spears and gets them ready for their grand finale. The frozen fries are plunged directly into a deep fryer filled with a specific blend of vegetable oil, heated to a precise temperature. Cooking them from a frozen state is another secret to success. It ensures the outside gets super crispy and golden while the inside steams to that perfect, fluffy finish. It's a quick process, usually lasting only about 3 minutes. The moment they're lifted from the fryer, glistening and sizzling, the final touch is added. The fries are tossed into a stainless steel station, and with a few shakes of a special salt dispenser, they receive that perfect, even coating of salt. This has to happen immediately while they're still hot, so the salt sticks to the surface. Then they're scooped into that iconic red carton and served up hot and fresh. From a frozen stick to a golden, crispy delight in just a few minutes. That's the last leg of the journey, a system perfected to deliver that same dynamite taste every single time. It's a beautiful thing. You might think that McDonald's fries have always tasted the way they do now, but that couldn't be further from the truth. This flavor has been on a wild ride, a real culinary evolution. When McDonald's first started slinging burgers and fries back in the 1940s and 50s, their secret weapon wasn't just the potatoes. It was what they cooked them in. They used a blend of about 93% beef tallow, that's rendered beef fat, and 7% cottonseed oil. This gave the fries a rich, savoury, and deeply beefy flavour that was absolutely legendary. People weren't just eating fries, they were having a full-on flavour experience that became the chain's calling card. That beef tallow recipe was the undisputed king for decades. It created a legion of loyal fans who swore that McDonald's fries were the best on the planet, hands down. The tallow had a high smoke point, which made the fries incredibly crispy, and its flavour was just dynamite. But in the 1980s, the winds of change started blowing. Health consciousness was on the rise, and critics, led by a crusader named Phil Sokoloff, started calling out fast food chains for their high levels of saturated fat. The public pressure mounted, and McDonald's knew it had to make a change to keep up with the times. So in 1990, the Golden Arches made a monumental decision. They announced they were switching from beef tallow to 100% vegetable oil. It was a huge shift, done in the name of health, but they faced a massive challenge. How do you get rid of the beef fat without getting rid of that signature beefy flavour? Their solution was a stroke of food science genius. They started adding a proprietary natural beef flavour to the vegetable oil blend before the fries were par-fried at the factory. This flavor was derived from wheat and milk products, designed to mimic the taste of the original tallow recipe. This move wasn't without controversy. For years, many people, including vegetarians and Hindus who avoid beef for religious reasons, had no idea the vegetable oil fries still contained a beef-derived flavoring. This led to lawsuits in the early 2000s, after which McDonald's issued an apology and clarified its ingredients. Since then, the oil blend has continued to evolve, moving to a trans-fat-free version in 2007. But that quest to replicate the original taste shows just how important that flavor was, and still is, to the identity of the world's most famous fries. It's a flavor with a history as rich as the tallow it was once cooked in. You've probably seen it online or, maybe heard the rumor from a friend, a McDonald's French fry or burger, left out on a counter for weeks, months, or even years, and it looks almost exactly the same. No mold, no rot, just a shriveled, mummified version of its former self. This has led to a major league myth that McDonald's food is packed with so many unnatural chemicals and preservatives that it can't decompose. It's a story that sounds crazy enough to be true, and honestly, it has fueled countless kitchen experiments and online videos, turning a simple French fry into a subject of scientific mystery. But here's the real deal, the science behind the spectacle. The reason these fries don't rot isn't because of some funky space-age preservative. It's all about one simple, powerful ingredient: water, or rather, the lack of it. When a McDonald's fry is cooked, it goes through 2 rounds of frying at extremely high temperatures. This process cooks out a massive amount of the internal moisture. The fries are also very thin, which gives them a high surface area to volume ratio, allowing them to lose what little moisture is left very quickly once they're out in the open air. Think of it like making beef jerky or drying fruit. When you remove the moisture from food, you create an environment where mold, bacteria, and other microorganisms just can't survive. These tiny critters need water to grow and break down organic matter. Without water, the decomposition process grinds to a halt. The high salt content on the fries also helps, as salt is a natural preservative that draws even more moisture out of the food and the surrounding environment. So, instead of rotting, the fry simply dehydrates. It becomes a potato mummy. Food scientists have confirmed this time and time again. You could achieve the same result with homemade fries if you cooked them to be just as thin and dry. In fact, if you were to store McDonald's fries in a moist environment, like a sealed plastic bag, they would absolutely grow mold and decompose just like any other food. So the myth of the immortal fry isn't a sign of something sinister in the ingredients. It's just a killer demonstration of basic food science principles in action. It's not about chemicals. It's about dehydration. Case closed. All right, we've had our salty fix, so now it's time to talk about the sweet side of the menu. Let's dive into the world of McDonald's cookies. Now, you might picture the staff in the back of your local restaurant whipping up batches of cookie dough from scratch, but that's not how this operation rolls. To ensure every single cookie has that same warm, chewy, righteous texture, production is handled in massive, specialized commercial bakeries. These aren't your average bake shops. They're high-tech food factories dedicated to crafting these delicious treats on an epic scale. It's a process built for consistency and quality. The whole thing starts just like you'd expect, but on a much, much larger scale. We're talking about gigantic industrial mixers, big enough to hold hundreds of pounds of ingredients at once. Into these mixers go the classic components: flour, sugar, butter, eggs, and of course tons of chocolate chips or oatmeal and raisins. These ingredients are measured with insane precision to guarantee that the dough for a cookie baked in California tastes exactly the same as one baked in Maine. The dough is mixed until it reaches the perfect consistency, ready to be transformed into those familiar cookie shapes. Once the dough is ready, it's sent to a portioning machine. This piece of equipment is a total rock star. It takes the giant mass of dough and expertly divides it into perfectly uniform pucks or squares. Every single portion is exactly the same size and weight, which is critical for ensuring they all bake evenly. These perfectly shaped dough portions are then laid out on massive baking sheets, sometimes by automated arms, ready to head into the ovens. The whole process is a symphony of mechanization, designed to produce thousands of cookies per hour without breaking a sweat. The final step in the factory is the bake itself. The trays of dough are fed into enormous tunnel-like commercial ovens. These aren't like the oven in your kitchen. They're long conveyor ovens where the temperature and baking time are controlled down to the second. As the cookies travel through the tunnel, they're baked to that perfect state of golden brown on the outside and soft and chewy on the inside. As soon as they emerge from the oven, they're sent to a cooling station. Getting them to the right temperature quickly is essential before they can be packaged for their journey. It's a sweet science, and these bakeries have it down pat. Once those thousands of cookies have been baked to perfection and have cooled down on the racks, they can't just sit around. The clock is ticking on freshness, and the next phase of their journey is all about preservation and transportation. The cooled cookies are immediately sent to the packaging line. Here, they are carefully sealed, often individually or in small packs in airtight wrappers. This packaging is clutch. It's designed to lock out air and moisture, keeping the cookies soft and chewy and protecting them from getting stale or broken during their long trip. This step is the first line of defense in the battle for freshness. After being sealed for their own protection, the cookies are boxed up in bulk. We're talking cases filled with dozens of these individually wrapped treats. These boxes are then stacked onto pallets, ready to be loaded onto trucks. Just like the French fries, the cookies are shipped to McDonald's regional distribution centres. These are massive warehouses that act as the central hub for all the supplies a restaurant needs, from burger patties to ketchup packets, and, of course, our delicious cookies. From these centres, smaller delivery trucks are loaded up each day with the specific inventory needed for each individual restaurant in that area. When the delivery truck arrives at your local McDonald's, the boxes of cookies are unloaded and brought into the storeroom. They're still in their protective packaging, waiting for their moment to shine. Because they were pre-baked and sealed at the bakery, there's no baking required in the restaurant kitchen. This is a huge advantage for a fast food environment, as it saves time, reduces the need for extra equipment, and guarantees that every customer gets the exact same quality product. The system is designed for maximum efficiency and consistency, which is the name of the game in the fast food world. Finally, when you order a cookie, the magic happens. The crew member simply grabs one of the pre-packaged, pre-baked cookies. Often, to give you that fresh out of the oven experience, the cookie is placed in a small warming oven for a few seconds. This quick blast of heat makes it warm and gooey, releasing that delicious aroma and making the chocolate chips melty and irresistible. It's the final touch that transforms a factory-made product into a personal, comforting treat, delivered with a smile right into your hands. From a giant mixer to a warm, satisfying dessert, that's a journey worth celebrating. The world of McDonald's is bigger and crazier than you might think. This place is a global juggernaut, a culinary empire with a flag planted in just about every corner of the earth. As of the end of 2023, there were over 41,000 McDonald's restaurants lighting up the sky in 115 different countries. That's some serious real estate. In the United States alone, there are more than 13,000 locations, meaning you're probably never too far from a Big Mac. And speaking of the Big Mac, get this. One dude, Don Gorski, holds the world record for eating the most of them. By September 2024, he had chowed down on over 34,600 of them. Now that's some serious dedication to the game. The menu is always changing too. These guys are constantly innovating and testing new stuff. Back in the late 1970s, before Chicken McNuggets were even a thing, they tested something called onion nuggets. They were basically bite-sized, deep-fried onion pieces. They didn't make the final cut, but the idea of a nugget stuck around and paved the way for the chicken version we all know and love. More recently, in 2023, they gave the Big Mac a glow-up by switching to a fluffier, sweeter brioche bun. It's these little tweaks and experiments that keep the menu interesting after all these years. And the menu isn't the same everywhere you go. McDonald's is a master of adaptation, tweaking its offerings to fit local tastes and customs. In India, where a large portion of the population doesn't eat beef, you won't find a Big Mac. Instead, you can order a Maharaja Mac, which is made with chicken patties. The fries in India are also 100% vegetarian, cooked in vegetable oil without any beef flavoring. In the Philippines, you can get McSpaghetti on the menu. And in some parts of Canada, you can even order a poutine. It's a killer strategy that shows they're paying attention to the local food scene. Let's wrap up with a couple more righteous tidbits. Ever wonder why the Coca-Cola at McDonald's just tastes better? It's not your imagination. They get their Coke syrup delivered in stainless steel tanks instead of the usual plastic bags, which helps keep it fresh. Plus, they pre-chill both the syrup and the filtered water before mixing them in the fountain, which allows the drink to hold more carbonation. And for you breakfast fans, here's a fun fact. Only the classic Egg McMuffin is made with a freshly cracked, round egg. The other breakfast items, like the folded eggs in the burritos, are made from a pre-mixed liquid egg blend. It's all part of the massive, fine-tuned system that makes McDonald's tick. So, after our deep dive into the world of McDonald's fries and cookies, what's the big takeaway? It's that there's a whole universe of science, precision, and history packed into that red fry carton and paper cookie sleeve. This isn't just fast food. It's a masterpiece of mass production, a system so finely tuned that it can deliver the exact same satisfying crunch and sweet, chewy bite to millions of people across the globe every single day. From the specific variety of russet Burbank potato to the exact temperature of the fryer, every single step is calculated for one purpose: to give you that familiar, comforting flavor you expect. The journey of the fry, from its beef tallow-soaked glory days to its modern, globally adapted recipe, tells a story about more than just food. It reflects our changing attitudes about health, flavor, and transparency. And the myth of the non-decomposing fry shows us how easily a simple scientific principle, dehydration, can become a modern-day legend. It's a testament to the power and mystery that these simple food items hold in our collective imagination. They aren't just potatoes, they are a cultural touchstone, a subject of debate, and a source of endless fascination. That's some heavy lifting for a humble side dish, and the same goes for the cookies. Knowing they come from a massive, state-of-the-art bakery instead of the local kitchen doesn't take away the magic. It adds a new layer of appreciation for the logistics involved. The journey from a giant industrial mixer to a warm, gooey treat served just for you is a testament to an incredible supply chain. It's the guarantee of consistency that makes it a reliable comfort food. You know that no matter where you are, a McDonald's chocolate chip cookie is going to deliver that same satisfying, sweet tooth-crushing experience. It's a dependable delight in a world that's always changing. In the end, whether you're grabbing a meal on a cross-country road trip or just swinging through the drive-thru after a long day, there's a reason these items are classics. They are the result of decades of perfection, a culinary formula that balances taste, texture, and nostalgia in one righteous package. The secret behind McDonald's fries and cookies isn't some magical ingredient or corporate conspiracy. It's a relentless dedication to a process. It's the science, the history, and the sheer scale of the operation that make them what they are: beloved, iconic, and undeniably delicious. Now that's a trip to Flavortown I'd take any day.